It's a 2003 XVS 1600 Roadstar. Doing the carburetors on it. One of the more interesting designs to come out of the cruiser craze was this Yamaha V-twin pushrod engine. They had a 1700 and they had a 1900. And the 1900 they actually used in the Roadliner, Stradliner, it was called. As usual, a lot of these motorcycles, they're low kilometers. I mean, this one has 17,000 kilometers, which is roughly 10,000 miles, which is like nothing for a big old Yamaha like this. Nice styling cues, really classic looks right out of the box. So they've done a good job on this. If you're into the cruiser thing and you want a bike that looks the part, this is it. Love the V-twin engine, the pushrod motor, absolutely beautiful. And there's also a bike called MT-01 pushrod motor in a naked, not sport bike chassis, but they had a lot of cool running gear on it, like upside down forks and the twin pot calipers on both sides. And it was pretty interesting styling exercise. It was a bit of a flop, the MT-01 in North America. They didn't bring it into the States, but they brought it into Canada. They did bring these cruisers though into North America, both the States and Canada, and I think Europe as well. Interesting bike, pushrod motor, V-twin. This is a belt drive motorcycle, air cooled, 1700. This one is a 1600cc V-twin. Marketing names for the Star Series. They originally started back in the Virago days. The first Virago was, of course, 1980 with the 920 and 750, XV 920 and 750 Yamaha Virago. And then they morphed in 85, they upped their game and changed the styling completely. And they turned out to be a pretty good seller up till about 1999 with the Virago 750 and 1100. They also had a Virago 250, which later turned into the V-Star series, the V-Star 250, and I forget what they called it, but then they had a 500, and the 500 Virago was a bit of a flop, to be honest. There was inherent problems with the carburation and this sort of thing, but around 1999, 2000, they really upped their game with these V-Stars. The styling changed immensely, and they really cleaned the slate and carried over the Virago motor into the 1100, which wasn't quite the same. It's not fair to say it was the Virago motor of, pre-99, but it certainly shared a lot of the sort of architecture. But then from 99 on, they had these Star Series motorcycles, and they were really cool bikes. If you're into the cruisers, the styling was really exceptional with them. So that was a game changer. They sold a pile of them too. They sold the 1100s, and of course there was 1300s and 16s and 17s and 1900s, and the 1900 being kind of the pinnacle of it. 1.9 liter V-twin, which shared the same architecture as this engine, which was a V-twin pushrod engine with the characteristic big tubes on it. Completely really nice bike. Nice to ride, good handling, good brakes. So the Star Series, if you're looking for one of these, really good value for your money. Actually, in the year 2024, you can buy an older one like this, and this is carbureted too. It has a single carburetor on it, really easy to work on, and the oil changes are pretty easy, pretty maintenance free. The only really drawbacks, he had a warranty recall with the transmission for 5 months of these. I don't know which year. They made these from 99 to 03, I believe, in the 1600cc flavor, and then they later went to a 1700. But for approximately 5 or 6 months, he had a bad run of transmissions where the clip on fourth gear would vacate and then just wad up the transmission in a spectacular fashion. So if you're buying one of these, check the VIN number, call your Yamaha dealership, and these should have a record of whether that was rectified or not. And if it's not rectified, maybe probably just run away, because it's going to be an expensive affair unless you do the work yourself. There were kits available from Yamaha that had part number 99959s, and then a part number with respect to the whole kit, and it came with the fourth gear and the relevant gear and all the gaskets you would need to rip this thing apart, which included tearing the heads off, and you had to pull the motor out, tear the heads off, split the cases, transmission had to come out, like the whole thing just had to come out. So it's a big job. So if you're not sure, do check the VIN number, call your Yamaha dealership, and see what's what with these bikes. Something to think about, you know, if you've got to look at these things as usual with any used bike. If you don't know, take it to a mechanic or a shop, have them look it over. This spoked wheels, 2 grims on it, 16-inch front rear. This is a carbureted model. It's a 2003, and it's still got a carburetor on it. The carb was all dumped up, so I cleaned it up, got it running really nice. Kind of weird carbs. It's a little bit weird. The slide doesn't go down all the way. That's for starters. You might think it does, but it's not supposed to. This jet is a 0.6 from Yamaha, and there's no hole in it. It's blocked, actually. This is a dyno jet, so don't worry about that. Pilot, normal main, normal emulsion tube, but this is blocked. It's a 0.6. Part number 3G214231-00-00. It's only $6.47. I don't know why it says 0.6, number 0.6 on it as the size, but there's no hole in it. It's blocked off, actually. FYI. If you're struggling with this, kind of a weird one. Fuel these days, it gels really quickly, and then you're stuck with clogged up pilot jets. The thing would only run with the enrichener on, and even with enrichener on, it would hardly run. So yeah, nice little bikes. Just doing a little test drive. Thought I'd break out the camera and do a little film while I got it here. So cool bike.